Hello, everybody. Good morning. It's so good to see everybody here today. And it's so good to see everybody on Zoom. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining us today at Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies. I'd like to open our time together today by sharing our mission statement. Penny?
It's
We
there.
are an inclusive spiritual community. Recognize and express our oneness with our Creator and all creation. Now let's join together to sing our opening song, Sanctuary, and let it remind us to be a sanctuary for our own hearts and for each other's hearts. Connie?
Thank you, River. We just made this shift this morning, so you saw me a little bit while River was talking, but we're getting it together with this TV show thing we've got. And so I invite everybody in the room here. Thanks for coming this morning. All of you on Zoom, welcome, welcome, welcome. So I just invite you to sing along with me, and we're going to sing with gusto. We're a smaller group with the holidays, so that means we just get to sing bigger, right? Here we go. Love, prepare me to be a sanctuary, pure and holy, tried and true. With thanksgiving, I'll be a living sanctuary. Back to you, River.
Good morning, everyone, again. My name is River Hansen, and I'm going to be your platform assistant today. I am pleased to announce our guest speaker today, Reverend Toni G. Boehm, PhD, is a ministry skills and transition ministry support coordinator for UWM. She has supported nearly 300 Unity boards and ministries in leadership skill development. She is the 2017 recipient of the Charles Fillmore Award for Visionary Leadership. She is an ordained Unity minister, certified organizational and life coach, author, poet, and a master prepared nurse practitioner. Her mission statement is, I am a midwife for the birthing of the soul's remembrance. I am a midwife for birthing of the soul's remembrance. She is known for her passionate teaching style and her expert facilitation of classes on personal empowerment and transformation. She serves at the world headquarters of Unity. And I Googled her, and I learned that she is an author of several books, including The Power of Yes, The Spiritual Entrepreneur, Luminous Darkness, Conscious Living, Embracing the Feminine Nature of the Divine, and many more. But before we hear from Reverend Toni, we will have a prayer and a song. Linda?
Good morning, everyone. Let us begin with prayer. Sweet Holy Spirit, as we gather here in this sacred space, our hearts are filled with peace. Our minds are open to inspiration. We feel the uplifting buoyancy of gathering as community. As we release the past and embrace the future, we know that everything is truly in divine order. We are open and receptive, willing and responsive to the spirit of truth within. Thank you, God, for this time when we are focused on your presence. And so it is. Amen.
Thank you, Linda. I chose this song this morning because, partly, of course, because of Reverend Tony's talk on spiritual resilience. And this is a song that we sang at our 9 o'clock service for a couple of years. So you may know it. I invite you to sing along if you do. And it requires a little bit of explanation. The word that I like to define for everyone in this song is called Ahmyo, Ahmyo. And Ahmyo means ultimate trust in the self. And to live a life of Ahmyo is to live with the wisdom of a master and the heart of a human. So join me if you'd like. I trust I've received the wisdom I need. I trust my heart knows which way to go. I trust in the love that flows from my soul. I trust in my source. I trust in my source, Amyo. May we all live a life of Amyo. Reverend Toni.
Mhm. Oh, Connie, that was so beautiful. You do bring the emotion to the heart, and it's so appreciated. Well, good morning, friends. I'm so glad to be back here with you. It's my pleasure to be speaking today about spiritual resilience, because how many of you feel that as you're in this time of transition, that's really what you're being called to embody, is a sense of spiritual resilience, spiritual resiliency, whatever word you want to use there. And you are. Change always requires a spiritual resiliency. And, I guess I've been talking to you for about 2 years now, or a year. I guess it's been a year since Ariana left. And as we're moving forward in this and just being present to it. But what we know is principle number one, there is only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life. Friends, that is not a platitude. Really hear that. That is not a platitude. It is a living reality that you must lean on every day. It arises out of the infinite consciousness of source energy, of God. And that infinite consciousness is that which constitutes your consciousness and mine as we are willing to take the time to connect with it every day until it builds and builds and builds in us. A truth principle that we live by, the Amyo, where we trust the universe. You know, there's a major truth principle, another one that I just love, and it's, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. You shall know the truth. But what is truth? The truth is the universe and your life runs on law. Law, ever present, never changing law. And Mr. Fillmore says, even though law doesn't change, right use or wrong use, the law works in accordance to how you use it. How? Why? Because we are vibrational broadcast signals. And that's what the new quantum science is showing us. Brian science is showing us that as we are willing to bring head and heart together, we create a coherent signal. But when we're only willing
Reverend, we lost you.
She went on mute.
yes, somehow it got hit. I don't know how, but it did. So where did I leave off? So let's go back to you being a vibrational broadcast system. And so as a vibrational broadcast system, you have a choice. You can live from the head, from the intellect, thinking that, oh man, I know all these platitudes and I can say them, but I never connect it with the heart. Or you can live from the heart and get so empathetic that you just kind of lay on the couch and go, I'm overwhelmed by everything. Or you can put into practice these principles. You can meditate every day and build up spiritual resiliency, to the spiritual resiliency that knows that one presence, one power active in my life. And it fades out all doubt because faith becomes so strong. You know, if you make a mathematical mistake, it shows up. 2 + 2 is 4. It's a law. You can't use 2 + 4 = 5, no matter how much you want to. No matter how you're balancing your checkbook, you can't make it mean 10 either. So we know that that's the same thing with error, dis-ease, is that we're just using the law in the wrong way. So we have to correct the error, and it takes several things. But the 2 things that we're going to focus on today is spiritual resiliency and self-observation. So resiliency. To be spiritually resilient means that you have developed the capacity to bounce back quickly in the face of adversity, like a rubber band, a simple rubber band. A rubber band is resilient. Doesn't matter how far you stretch it, it'll bounce back to its original shape because it has inbuilt resiliency. That's what practicing the principles do. They create an embedded capacity. They develop, let's put it this way, they develop an embedded capacity to be resilient in the face of everything, to where then you can, as the Amyo, begin to live with the wisdom of a master and the heart. I would even say the heart of a human master too, because the heart and the head must come together for coherence to be present. So resiliency is a very important capacity to develop. It means that in the presence of things not going your way, you don't whine, you don't complain, you don't just when. Why? It's where you just go. There's only one presence and one power in the universe. I don't get what's going on. but I'm interested in something more interesting. So we breathe that in, just breathe in that capacity to be resilient. And now let's move to self-observation, the second thing we're going to talk about today. Mr. Fillmore says honest self-observation is the prelude to Christ consciousness. You can't just say, oh, I know I'm spiritual resilient. You can't just say it. You have to practice self-observation and see if you're really doing it. Is this how you're showing up? And you'll know if it's how you're showing up by the amount of complaining you do, by the amount of dissonance. I remember Frank Judici, our Bible teacher at UWM at Unity Institute for Religious Studies. And Frank would say that whenever God was whenever somebody in the Bible was writing about people complaining, they would use the words, and the people murmured, murmur, 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 murmur. And then Frank would just murmur, 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 because that was to show us that idea of complaining creates a dissonance. Now, this isn't what Frank said, this is what I think. It creates a dissonance in the field. We are living, breathing fields of energy, and we are either in harmonic resonance, balance, which calls forth more harmony, or we're in dissonance. Anxiety, doubt, fear, complaining, all of those create a sense of dissonance that can be felt by somebody who can read energy, which I happen to be one of those people. So the thing of it is dissonance creates a war within us. We don't even have to go out to find a war. We can find that war right here within us. I mean, how many of you really have ever had a war going on inside? I mean, let's get real here, because it's what we do when we allow ourselves to, when we allow ourselves to go out of resonance, when we take ourselves out of resiliency. So what we have to keep going back to is, what is my intention? What is my intention? What is my intention? My intention is to be interested in something more interesting, such as one presence and one power, and developing that spiritual muscle so that I keep developing the capacity for resiliency. When we step into the unknown, and right now you're in the unknown, you have stepped into the unknown. This is where self-observation invites you just to be witness to where you're putting your attention and your intention. Is your attention on what you don't have? Because if you do, believe me, that attention will get you an intention of more of what you don't have. Or is your attention on what's coming, what's exciting, what's more interesting here? What's more interesting is we are in a time of developing ourselves so that we can grow into that which we are designed to draw to us. So a moment of doubt is really important to observe, because when we doubt, when we truly doubt, we are setting ourselves up for more doubt to come in. So it's important for us to see so that we can choose to create a different outcome, because that's what we want to do. Because nobody and nothing outside of you, friends, I don't care what you think it is not going to change anything. You're the only one that has the power to change something within you, whether it's doubt, whether it's fear, whether it's anxiety, whether it's sometimes it's even sickness. Dr. Joe Dispenza says, I'm not sure doubt can be rectified, but it can be shifted into something more interesting. And when I read that, it was like, Joe, you go, that's my line. That's what I say. And it was just nice to have that confirmation that it can be shifted into. So we don't fight doubt. We don't go to war with it. We don't go to war with fear or anxiety. We don't go to war with anything. Make friends with your adversary quickly, the master teacher said. There's a reason he said that, because he knew that being in a space of resistance only brings more resistance. So when you can learn how to shift into a higher understanding, then you gain more resiliency. You can rebuild the sense of calm and peace and freedom. This just isn't about getting minister in your ministry, friends. This is about every aspect of your life, your family, your work, your health. It all works. You see, I have a Tuesday advanced consciousness class, and I say to them almost every week, we are working across all systems and levels of being. And they used to say, what does that mean? What it means is that we are working, you're not just this human being, you're a vibrating field of levels and systems. You're an ecosystem, you're an eco, bio, neuro, chemo, physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, karmic, quantum being. And when you're doing healing, you have to heal across all those levels and systems. So it's why you come back and you face things. And you say, oh, I wonder why this is happening to me again. Well, maybe you healed it on the mental level, but you haven't healed it on the emotional or even the biological level where it's embedded in the cells. So we have to do all of that to truly be released. And how we do it is we do it by just being the witness to ourselves, observing ourselves, seeing what's going on. Oh, interesting. There's doubt wanting to arise. There's anxiety. There's fear. There's anger. There's upset. There's jealousy. There's a sense of competition. Oh, wow. There's a little bit of not enough here. And then I stop and I ask myself when those moments arise for me, because even though I've been on this path for nigh on to 50 years now and a minister for 33, there are occasions, not a lot now, but there are occasions. And I stop and I say, what do you know, Toni? What do you know? I'd be interested in something more interesting. I know there's only one presence and one power. And you know what? In that moment, I'll go and I'll read something. I'll read something that takes me back to the clarity of one presence and one power. So it's actually important to fundamentally answer that question within you. You know, whether it's a meeting you're going into, whether it's the new minister you're hiring, whether it's a talk you're about to give, whether it's a person you're going to meet, whether it's a new job interview you're going for, whether it's somebody you love is sick, whether you need an answer, you need illumination. What do you know? What do you know about peace, illumination? Life is the perfect pattern that lives in every cell of your being. You know, sometimes I like to go back to quantum physics because being a nurse practitioner, I love science and I love the whole brain science thing. And I love the quantum mechanics coming in, quantum physics coming in, showing us now that we are interconnected. Mr. Fillmore said, like in 1909, he said, in 100 years, science will catch up with spirituality. And it's happening. They're now proving what we have been saying. The one presence, one power. They're showing that there are multiple dimensions, that there is a field of interconnectedness. It is being scientifically proven. Now, we were going out on faith, knowing this was true, but now it's being scientifically proven that there's multiverses, that there's energy, vibration, and frequency, and how it works. That we're sponges in a void, just picking up things. Sometimes I have to go back and I have to revisit Mr. Fillmore. And you know what happens when I go back and I revisit Mr. Fillmore and I just maybe learned something? I'll be reading Fillmore, and this happens in Jesus Christ Heals a lot. Oh my goodness. I mean, like chapter 11, how many times have I read it? How many times have I taught it? And then all of a sudden, this was a few years ago, I went back to read it. All the things he has in that chapter about vibration and that every cell of our body is a universe spinning and that we just don't have eyes to see. And he talks about we're actually kind of like a vortex of energy. And I'm there like, when did he write this? When did he put this in this book? You know, because when you're not ready, you don't see it. But when you're ready, you see it. So we really want to be present to our teachings and what's happening, and making sure that we're really living them. We want to make sure, because this is new brain science, heart math, and all of this. The head and the heart must come together. They must be in coherence, in alignment. And when they're in alignment, then we have the capacity to move out of third dimensional emotions of fear, anxiety, mistrust, all that. And we can bring in elevated emotions of collaboration and trust and gratitude and appreciation and instant forgiveness and the capacity to be present to others and the ability to be pure witness to what's really happening within us. We have the capacity to know that if I want to be healed, you know what? I'm going to look at how epigenetics works. And epigenetics send out signals. And I signal my genes with the emotions I carry. If I walk around in doubt and anger and upset all the time, I'm signaling my genes, turn off, turn off, turn off. But if I'm really willing to be in joy and to trust, you know what that means? I never even have to ask, am I safe? Am I safe? Am I safe? Is it safe here? Because when you trust in the Lord, you know you're safe. When you trust in the one presence and the one power, you know that Spirit's going before you to make straight your path. And you can walk into the lion's den and you won't be eaten alive. But it can only happen as you take on a higher perspective, where you embody these principles to such a degree that it's not Pollyannish. It's not a platitude Pollyannishness. It is an absolute realization and knowing. And so how do we get there? How do we get there? We get there by something so simple, friends. And this is just a tool I'm going to give you, by asking an empowering question of self. And that question, one of them, there's many, but one of them is, what meaning am I making right now? What meaning am I making? Am I making meaning that I'm not worthy? So I'm going to be giving a keynote to many people at the end of the month for one of the regions. And you know what? I can go to, oh man, who am I to be giving this keynote? You know, blah, blah, blah. Are they going to like what I say? Are they going to resonate with what I say? And here's what I have to know. When I make it about me, there will be glitches. But when I say, I surrender, what meaning am I giving to this? Okay, I'm making it mean I'm not enough. And guess what? I'm not going there. I am not going there. Because here's what I know. Spirit through me is enough. And regardless of the words that come out of my mouth, as I am aligned with Spirit, somebody will get something. Somebody will tap into it. And I say this for you as you're getting ready to hire an incredible minister to minister to you, to take you all to that next level. And so here's another question I asked myself, and I'm going to put it in the form of the keynote. What would a person who was just gave a fabulous keynote be experiencing right now, be feeling right now? And you can put that in. What would a person who is experiencing wholeness be feeling right now? What would the person who's experiencing abundance be feeling right now? And I do it over and over and over till I get that feeling, and that feeling of what it would be. What would this person be feeling for whatever it is that the divine idea that I'm going for? So what would a group who's just supported the hiring of an incredible minister be feeling right now? What would a group who just been supported in the hiring of an incredible minister be feeling right now? Breathe into that, feel into that. What would you be feeling? Would you be feeling joy? Would you be feeling happiness? Oh man, we got it. It's complete, it's done. And we're in joy. And when you do that, self-doubt is diminished, it's gone. but you do it through conscious practicing of self-awareness, self-observation, and empowering questions. So your job is to be witness to these doubts, to get whatever information you need, but really all you have to ask is, what meaning am I giving to this? What's more interesting? And then go to an elevated emotion, trust, joy. Just be there with it. And when you do that, you're in the now moment. So I invite you to go forth this week, my friends, and ask yourself those empowering questions and be present as a witness to that which you are noticing. So with this, I invite you to close your eyes, take a deep breath, be present to what you're noticing right now in your body. What are you sensing? What are you feeling? Where are you feeling it? What's arising within you in this moment? You're being witness to yourself. And then as you just be witness to it and you feel it, just invite yourself to just step a little bit outside yourself, maybe 2 inches outside your body, above your head. And imagine that you're looking down on this being. And that's your true self looking down, being witness to this being who's taken on a personality named whatever your name is. But the truth of you never changes. The truth of you is always in the field, always desiring to give you your good, always desiring to be present to you. The truth of you never leaves. So I invite you to sit for a moment in the silence, being present. Amio, I trust. I trust and I am master of my energies. And so it is, in the name and through the power of the living Christ presence. And to this all we do say, Amen, Amen, Amen. And so it is. God bless you all.
Thank you, Reverend Toni. It is always such a deep pleasure to have you with us. Thank you so much. I'm waiting for the TV to move so I can see you. There you are. It's like a little kid. You go like this and everyone disappears, right? Everything that I need to know about what lies before me, everything that I need to know about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me in the mind of God within me. Everything that I need to do about what lies before me, everything that I need to do about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything that I need to release about what lies before me, everything that I need to release about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. everything that I need to receive all the good that lies before me, everything that I need to receive all the good that lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Everything that I need to be strong about what lies before me, everything that I need to be strong about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me. Now I gotta have you guys help me with this, okay? We're going back to the first verse. Everything that I need to know about what lies before me, everything that I need to know about what lies before me is available to me, is available to me through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me, through the mind of God within me. And so it is. River?
Woohoo! Great song, great message. Be present as our own witness, right? And everything we need is available. Beautiful message, beautiful song. Thank you so much, you two. Okay. Where am I? Page 3. All right. So it's offering time. So if Penny could put the information in the chat box and on the screen in here. This is great. Now there is a box at the back of the sanctuary to put in your offering if you like, and you can also donate and follow the instructions on the website. And thanks so much to all attending today for all of your generosity. When you support Unity in the Rockies, know that you're supporting the greater unity movement of which we are all a part. As we enter this sacred time of giving, I invite you to hold your offering to your heart and fill it with love and light, knowing that it will come back to you multiplied in abundance. And now recite with me. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And so it is. I have several announcements today, but first I'd like to ask, is there anybody here for the first time? All right. All right. Welcome. Thank you for coming. Our weekly online newsletter gives details of what happens here. So if you haven't already filled out the little blue slip when you came in, please do so if you want to receive all the happenings here at our spiritual center. And then join us afterwards down the hall. We have fellowship and coffee and tea and goodies. Okay, as many of you know, we're going to be celebrating 100 years at Unity, the weekend of October 22nd and 23rd. Saturday day will be a magical, mystical fair. Speakers and vendors and an ice cream truck and book sales, and maybe even another food truck. It's still in the making. That evening is our celebration gala. Special music and presentations and special speakers and catered hors d'oeuvres. Sunday morning, right here, we have a special, special service with some very special guests and really special music. It's going to be special.
And it's all a secret. We're not telling you anything.
And then following that service in Fellowship Hall will be more catered goodies and more special speakers. So be sure to mark your calendars and read your e-blast because the details are forever evolving. And of course, sign up for a committee that sounds fun for you. There's a lit up poster on the bulletin board in the hallway. So look that over, and if anything calls to you, go ahead and put your name down. And speaking of fun, holes love to be dug. Trees love to go in those holes that are dug. Bushes love to be put into those holes that are dug. And the earth loves holes that are dug with bushes and trees. Because with more bushes and trees, we have more oxygen and beauty, right? So there's a new sign-up thing on the bulletin board out in the hallway. We're looking for happy hole diggers, okay? Do you dig it? Donna digs it. All right. We would so appreciate that. And speaking of appreciation, our spiritual center would not run without our sacred service folks who help run the show. I'd like to recognize these folks here today and on Zoom who give their love and time and energy to our many service teams, including our history team, fellowship, gardening, groundskeeping, flowers, the Sacred Women's Circle, the men's group, bingo, ushering, the prayer chaplains, and the AV team, and our music team. On behalf of everyone here at Unity in the Rockies, with grateful hearts, we thank you, we thank you, we thank you. There's going to be a prosperity class, September 17th, which is a Saturday, from 10 to 12 here at Unity, led by Reverend Elizabeth Longo. Step into a prosperity consciousness by learning abundance principles and how to apply them in your life. She says we are swimming in an ocean of infinite abundance, ready to be brought forth into manifestation. Discover the blocks to prosperity and then how to release them while catching the greatest vision of your life. So go to eBlast for more details and to sign up. And Susan reminded me that September is Westside Care Month, right? So be sure to donate your canned goods. Can they bring them here or do they need to take them to Westside? Take them right to Westside. And there's more information on the eBlast. Fellowship. After the service in Fellowship Hall, coffee and tea and snacks. So if your last name begins with F, G, H, I, J, K, guess what? You are invited to bring goodies to share for fellowship after the service next week. Pardon me? That's right, tagged you're it, Jeff says. And for more information, go to your eBlast. So we're entering the final stretch in hiring our new minister for this center. This lovely affirmation that we've been reciting together every Sunday is really working. So let's affirm together once more. With gratitude for the past, we align vibrationally to demonstrate and attract the highest level of leadership in accordance with cosmic law for Unity Spiritual Center in the Rockies. All right. It's working, right? Yeah. Affirmations, prayer. And speaking of prayer, I'd like to introduce Linda Anthony again for our closing prayer.
Let's all close our eyes and take a deep breath. As we go out into our week and our world, we are grateful for all of our many blessings. We are grateful to Toni for her inspiring talk. We are grateful to all who keep our spiritual community running smoothly. We are grateful to the search committee and the board of trustees. We know that all is well. And now please bring to mind those loved ones and friends who are in need of prayer. Let us say their names aloud. Richard, Alex, Rich and Deb. We know that God is blessing and moving through each one of their lives for the highest good of all concerned. And so we say, thank you, God, and amen.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us this morning and on Zoom. We're going to all stand in the room, make a big circle. Everyone on Zoom, visualize. If you want to, feel free to stand and visualize yourself in this circle with us and our warm hands in yours. Now, Zoomies, if you want to stay on Zoom, just stay put, and Reverend Toni would love to chat with you a little bit. And anyone in the room, if you also want to chat with Reverend Toni via Zoom, come up here to the stage, and we'll use the platform speaker microphone so that you can ask her questions and such as well. Otherwise, we've got fellowship in the back. Zoomies, come on over. You've still got about 15 minutes to get here to have snacks. Linda Anthony is in the room as a prayer chaplain. Online, call that prayer chaplain line anytime you would like a prayer, and they will get back with you. I think we've done it. Let's sing our way out. Let the light within you shine. We are all connected. Look into another's eyes. See your light reflected. We are one light, shining souls in harmony. We are one light, shining in unity. Have a blessed week, everyone. Enjoy this holiday weekend. Stay safe out there, and join that spirit of Amyo. Become spiritually resilient.